Hello scholars, welcome back to the Kemet Maasai Academy. We are continuing our series of inspirational videos for students, and I'm reading as usual from the Student's Master Plan, Hardcore Rules for a Lifetime of Success. The topic I'm looking at today is help if you can, but not too much. One of the gems of the Bible is that you offer more help to someone by teaching him how to fish than by giving him a fish. In other words, help him once and you might end up having to help him a dozen times. But teach him how to help himself and you might only have to help him that first time, providing he has ambition, because there are some people who do not want to learn how to fish for themselves. Some people are born loaded with a spirit of independence and initiative, and all they need is a small push from someone else or a point in the right direction, after which they'll gladly steer out on their own. Other people are codependent and would feel no guilt about being spoon-fed all their lives. They start asking for help from the get-go without even trying to see if they can do it on their own. These people lack confidence and independence and perhaps ambition. If you continue to help such a person, he or she may never be able to make it on their own, and your resources, emotionally and otherwise, will become depleted. A man who goes around begging for alms and receiving them, even when he can do better, will eventually resign himself to begging and will lose the drive to go out and earn his keep like a responsible citizen. He will be satisfied with being a leech on society. He will refuse to acknowledge that many people in similar or even worse situations than his did not decide to become a burden, but instead chose to find a way around their disability. They did not ask for help because they realized it is much nobler to try to help yourself, no matter how hard it is at first. When your teacher assigns you work with an activity, don't be too quick to say you don't understand or to ask for help. Read the instructions carefully, at least 2 or 3 times. Look for keywords that tell you specifically what to do. Read over your notes and look back at worked examples. Try following the methods outlined. If it is a brand new problem, you should be able to use what you already know to solve it. Think carefully and deeply about the problem on your own. If necessary, sketch a diagram to illustrate the problem on paper or form a clear mental picture. Only after you have spent a reasonable time thinking and trying to solve the problem on your own should you ask for help. Teachers are there to help, but only when the student needs it. The teacher is a facilitator, not a crutch. The teacher clears the way, paves the way, and points the way. But the student must be prepared to do some walking. When you go out into the work world, your initiative and independence will be assets to your place of employment. No one wants a co-worker who is constantly pestering them for help or needs to be reminded how to perform tasks. You will be seen as a liability and a burden. No one wants an employee who is unable to make independent decisions and requires constant supervision, no matter what level of worker you are. If you have cultivated the ability to do your own work with only reasonable help, you will be cherished. Now this is very important, and I always tell my students, because you know we encourage students to share, to help, you know, to give a hand if your classmate is struggling, doesn't understand what's happening with the work, then we encourage students to help. But I hasten to add, as the passage says, help if you can, but not too much. Because too many humans have a tendency where if they get help and they see that the person is willing to help and is able to help, they will develop a leech mentality, a parasitic mentality, whereby they will just automatically expect the help. They will not do anything on their own. As soon as they're given the problem, as soon as they're given the work, they will just go straight to that person. And they come to expect the help. They come to feel that they're entitled to the help. And anytime they're not given that help, it causes a problem. They might be telling the student, well, you can't be my friend anymore. You don't like me anymore. You're not helpful. They develop an attitude, a negative attitude. You don't want to be helping someone to the point where they become codependent or just fully dependent on you. Then they have become a burden, and they're going to weigh you down, and they're going to squeeze everything out of you. It just so happens that some human beings are like that. And they always say the givers should know their limit, because the takers don't have any limits. The givers should know their limit, because the takers don't have any limit. They will squeeze and suck everything out of you, drain everything out of you, till you have nothing more to give. And then they move on to someone else, and they don't care that your work becomes neglected, your affairs become spoiled, your business gets messed up trying to help them. They will have, some of them, they have no gratitude, they have no sense of, okay, I'm sorry, let me try to understand that you have your own thing to do. I've seen students who, they are really trying to help their classmates, and in doing so, their own work is becoming neglected. And then they have to be scurrying to catch up when, you know, they should be focusing on getting their thing done. So this is something as a student you must look out for when you are helping your classmates. Sure, you see them struggling, call them over, explain. Don't just say, write it from my book, because that's not helping either. Giving them your book, giving them your homework to just write it off, that is in no way helping them. And that's encouraging the leech mentality, because they're always going to be coming to you. They still don't know what to do. So you should take them and spend some time showing them. But once you see where they are developing that attitude, that parasitic attitude, where they're going to be constantly coming to you and starting to expect the help and feel entitled to the help, you need to draw the line. You need to explain your position. You need to say, I don't mind helping, but I'm not going to go beyond this point. Alright? Go and try and figure it out on your own. And explain to them that they also need to listen. Just as how you sat down and you listened to the teacher, you did your research as you were asked to do, or even on your own initiative, you went, you exposed yourself to new information, you listened to some other person teaching the same thing so that you have a solid grasp of it. They can do the same thing for themselves. You went, you read your textbook, you practiced. They can do the same thing for themselves. So don't allow anybody to suck you dry, to bleed you dry. Alright, if you have been motivated by this video, which I hope you have, please share it so others may benefit, other students, other teachers, other parents. And remember, please subscribe to the Kemet Maasai Academy so that you can benefit from not just the motivational videos, but the mathematics videos from grade 4 to grade 11. Take advantage of that so you can stay on top of things and so you can refer other students to these videos. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.